Be recording. Cool. Okay.
Hey, thanks for doing that.
Oh, no problem at all. Absolutely. Okie dokie. How are you, by the
I'm
way?
good. How are
Good.
you?
Good. Thank you. I am very good. Okay. All right. For some reason, they want me to say, and I know you know this, but everything that I know from prior readings disappears as soon as I see you. Some comes back, but some doesn't.
Yeah, okay.
That might be coming back. Do you have a son?
Yeah.
Okie dokie. He's coming back.
Oh.
And actually, is he coming to see you in the middle of the night?
Is a son on the other side?
Oh, do you have a son on the other side?
No, I have two sons living.
Is them having some difficulties or something? They don't even make it look like they're having a nightmare. They just make it look like your son is coming to you down the hall.
Sometimes they come in my room. Yeah, both of them do. Sometimes.
Oh, do they share a room?
No, they both have different rooms, but sometimes they'll come in my room.
Yeah, sometimes actually what I hear in my head is they get bothered at the same time.
Oh. Yeah, they do sometimes both come in at the same time, but I always just think it's that they hear the other one waking up, and so then they come.
Makes perfect sense. Yeah. It totally, yeah, because they hear one rustle, what am I missing?
Yeah.
I best be getting out of bed, but I actually think that something is bothering both of them precisely at the same time.
Huh, interesting.
The strange thing is because your mother is with us. She's a living person. I was going to say creature.
Yeah.
It's something to do with mom, which is strange. So your mom is physically fine. We're not worried about her in any way, are we?
No, but she has a lot of stress, so I don't know if maybe
they showed that it actually might be because of the generational gift that your mother has that's popping onto your boys. Okie dokie. Is the only thing that wakes you up your children, and do they actually have to wake you? Are you a deep?
I'm not easily bothered, but I know that they're there, and then I fall back asleep. Yeah.
Oh, because they're telling me that makes sense. They're saying you're sleeping so deeply that you can't remember or retain anything that they're giving you. So they pop it into your boys, and your boys come in and they nudge you and wake you up and tell you, and then you go back to sleep, and then the idea is there.
Oh, that's funny.
You're just used. That's terrible. They're not 5 and 7, are they?
I have a 5 and 3-year-old.
Oh, it's the other way.
Yes, exactly. 2 years.
Okay. Yeah, 2 years I put on them. Okay, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
That makes even more sense. Oh my God, 2-year-old must be just so adorable when he comes to tell you the news that he hears. It must be like, I don't look at you.
My one, he talks gibberish sometimes in the night, but I just think gibberish.
I just did too. I actually think it's higher concepts that he can't quite make into proper words in his face.
Huh.
Now, okay, so it's just the two, right? You don't have a third child, do you? Oh, I was going to say you're pregnant. I wish I said it. Damn it. Oh, do you know what you're having?
A boy.
Oh, I want to actually say, are you sure?
Well, I was really wanting a girl, and another medium told me I was going to have 2 boys and a girl, and so we always hoped that would be it. But we've had 2 ultrasounds, and they showed me the penis, so I'm pretty sure it's a boy.
Yeah. Unless she's down here going, yeah,
exactly. Just messing up.
I actually would have said girl too.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, if you hadn't told me that you actually saw an ultrasound with a wiener on it, I would have said, yeah. Or they actually even show with my second one, I was so sure she was a boy. Every time I opened her diaper, I was like, where is your penis?
That's funny.
Like she dropped it in my womb, and she did. I grabbed it and popped it on. So that's
funny.
But my son's gonna love that. No. They actually, okay. Does this pregnancy feel different than the other 2?
No, I'm really sick with both of them, and same. Same
movements and everything too, same responses?
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
Okay, because they're showing me slight differences. Like the slight differences are, this is going to sound odd. My first child kept putting her foot out there so you could actually see the lining of her foot. I wish to God I had taken a photograph of it. It was so cool.
Yeah.
My other one actually used to rise up and you could actually see her butt.
Hmm.
I was taking a tub and you could actually see this bum at the very top. She didn't want
Yeah.
it's like that. It's that much of a, like, I can see the two body parts, but one's above foot. It's just the difference of the baby.
Yeah.
That's what they're showing. And the third thing they're showing is my son actually moved like, it looked creepy.
Yeah.
Around. So is there something somewhat like that? It's just a slight difference, but it's the same thing, but it's different. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I'm trying to think, like, I don't know really obviously, but like they definitely seem not like intense movements, but just small little ones. But I don't really remember what time, like maybe it was later on that it got more big and noticeable.
These weren't things you were completely paying attention to.
These are like just little like boop boop boop, but I'm like trying to think of in terms of the time frame if that's why.
I see. Well, one of the things that they're actually even they say energy. This baby has different energy than the other two. There's something different about this pregnancy or this baby or something and actually too, okay. Have you named this child?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, have you dreamt about this baby?
No, I don't think so. I don't remember my dreams really too much though.
Oh, okay. Because I was gonna say, are you sure? Because it's like you've met this child before this child comes out.
Huh.
And I don't know. This is okay. It's almost like this child might present physically as a male and might have a lot more female within them.
Huh.
So it could be that you're going to give birth to a fashion designer.
Yeah, maybe I'll get that what I wanted anyways, that like connection, with that energy.
Yes, it could be because you even use the word energy. You might get that feminine energy out of this child.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they say there's only so much testosterone to go around. Like, how testosterone-y is your 5-year-old? Because they show like your 5-year-old got like a great deal of testosterone.
Yeah, it's an intense household.
Yeah, they actually your 5-year-old has so much testosterone they could have, wait for it, pubic hair. That's actually what I mean.
We always laugh about his back hair.
His back hair? Oh my God. Okay, then that's what they're talking about. Okay. Yeah, and actually I heard something that could be, I heard someone say in my head, hairy monkeys.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys actually use that term because I think the person who said that is talking about that. And actually, do you remember the first time you heard that or when that was referred to?
You're saying that probably. Like I could see them saying that for sure. One of my uncles.
It's like we're sitting on the beach and I'm in the middle of a memory where I'm hearing one of the uncles what I think is possibly your grandmother.
Oh.
Driving one of the uncles when we're sitting on the going, we are some hairy monkeys or something. That's what I can see. Like she said,
funny.
Okay. She says, I have your baby. And she's doing this and looking down and looking up and looking like she's looking at the wiener. And she showed, just so you're aware.
What?
She lifts the blanket just to let me see the genitalia of your baby and then puts the blanket back down. Yeah, that it's a boy, that it's a wiener, balls, and all those sorts of things. Yeah.
Okay.
She also, though, the blanket, when I see the babies, I see them wrapped in the blanket of our traditional color. So if I see them in, okay, I don't know why I'm supposed to say this to you. Yellow is miscarriage.
Yeah, I had miscarriage.
Oh, that's why I'm supposed to say that to you. I see. Okie dokie. That's what she's talking about. I understand. I actually think I understand the twin spirit then too. I didn't want to say that. I wasn't sure because, to be perfectly honest, I wasn't sure if you were actually going to give birth to a trans baby. And I wasn't sure how to say that or anything like that. That is a mental decision the child will be making. They could still feel very female and male and not make the transition. They could just be male, female. But that might be that I see the twin flame. It could be that the miscarried baby is spending a lot of time with the baby you're carrying.
I see.
Sharing secrets and becoming part of the family in this way. Because miscarried babies are like aborted babies. They make the choice. You don't make the choice, as far as I can see.
Yeah.
And because they choose to be part of the family. And with this, so when you think about this miscarried child, were you 4 months in?
No, I was pretty early. Like I had found out and then miscarried.
Oh, so it could have been 4 weeks.
I was probably something like super early like that.
Yeah, and it wouldn't have been your 4th pregnancy, because
No,
this is 4th pregnancy. Yeah, okay, that's what I thought. This is the 4th one. Okay,
yeah.
I think that's the female energy we see.
Yeah, my friend's mom always said like she thought it was a girl. She has like kind of psychic energy, and she's like, you had a girl, which made me so sad because I really always wanted a girl.
I know, that's why I didn't want to say it, honestly.
This is sad, but I had felt that feeling, but I know that it's just the way it's supposed to be. So.
And is there any possibility whatsoever, actually, that after this little human being pops out, that you might think, I'm going to give that another go?
I don't know. I think we're done after this.
A lot. I know. I have 3. And one thing, and then you get 3. It's like, holy crap.
Yeah, exactly.
I had 10 more.
It feels like a lot, though.
Well, and then after 3, though, my kids used to invite their friends over. It's like after 3, it's chaos.
That's what it does, yeah.
You might as well get yourself a little curling team. I don't know how many people constitute a curling team. I think it's, but I'm not sure. How un-Canadian. Anyway, yeah, okay. So, have you named her?
Not really. We talked about names, but
okay, she would like you too. That's not the first word that aborted children has to be named as well, because they actually are a part of the family. She has 3 brothers to look after. My gosh, like she actually, they just did like a fist thing with her. But, woo! Because, well, she's not a fruition human being just yet. She'd be pretty little. Is she around maybe 2, 3?
Who?
If you had
actually. No, she would be really young, like, because it was right before I got pregnant. So
it is under 2 then.
Yeah.
That's what I thought, because she seems very infanty.
Yeah.
But the brain, it's just weird and different. Has your husband's mother crossed over?
No, his grandma.
Okay, that was going to be my next. I gotta just say things with you. Okay, comment. Okay, yeah, because it wasn't very recent, was it? Was he a part of it?
But he had an aunt that passed recently.
Oh, okay, that might be. And is she his mother's sister or his father's sister?
Mother's sister.
It was mother, correct?
Mother, yeah.
Yeah, his mommies.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mommies. Yeah. And she goes, my mother's here too. That's what she said. Yes. And she was his favorite aunt.
Yeah.
But she's calling herself his favorite aunt. She might have been his favorite aunt on his mother's side. Because there might be another favorite aunt on his father's side, because she is showing me my favorite aunt on my mother's side and my favorite aunt on my father's side.
Yeah.
Both of that name. But yeah. And she mwah, to you. He wants you to see those as angel kisses. Aaron taught me that. Angel kisses. They always do that, people on the other side. That's the way I always thought it just was so that I knew. Yes. And she says, congratulations. She's so happy. She just put that on your belly.
Yeah.
She's actually infusing. She's taking a great big syringe, and the word fun is on it, and she's into your belly. She's trying to infuse your child. And mischief is the second thing. Are they Norwegian or a Viking kind of family?
No, she's Chinese.
Oh, okay. So yeah, they wouldn't. Why? Because after she does mischief, it looks like she infuses Loki into your child.
Loki.
Yeah, which totally put me right into the Vikings and that whole, because he was a lot of mischief.
Oh,
But
funny.
it's strange that she would use that. It could just be that if she had used a Chinese god of mischief, I would have gone, there's a word I don't get.
Right.
Shoving it into your kid. So Loki, I totally get, because he's the only one god of mischief that I know. I know other like naughty gods and things like that, Dionysus, blah, blah, blah. But okay, so, okay. What's your due date? Is it in a month?
August 1st.
Oh, okay. August 1st is your due date.
Yeah.
What's happening in a month? It's so specific.
Oh, really? I don't know.
Weirdly specific. I never get a date. So it's actually a month from today.
Huh.
I have no idea what the heck it is. But you're recording, so you'll remember. You'll be able to go back and go, what the heck are you talking about? Because it's 5/5. A is the 5th month, 23rd. 3 is 5. I don't know if that's what she meaning, but that is a numerology thing. And my head immediately went to the numbers.
Huh.
With things. Was she a student of numerology or I Ching?
Andrea, no, I don't. No.
Did she? Okay, now, did she own an abacus?
I don't know.
Okay, she's trying to symbolize something, because she just, as soon as I asked about the numerology and I Ching, numerology and I Ching are both Chinese, for lack of a better term, fortune telling modality. There's the word. Thank you. She's talking while I'm trying to talk, and it makes it difficult to talk. Anyway, okay. She's so excited to be here. She's gotten to meet your family. She thinks this is really great, this reunion. That's what she says. Aww. And she's so sorry she died the way she did.
Aww.
Now, she uses the word cancer, but that can actually also be something that spreads quickly and moves throughout the body.
Well, she had a heart attack, actually. And
okie dokie. Oh, she's the copycat. I get it. Okay.
Oh, is that what it is?
There was somebody who was copying your grandmother, on and on and on. She went about that. Your grandmother showed me the drawbridge going down, like she was trying to open up to this idea, but you wouldn't have done that because you would have stayed on your blood.
Yeah,
I think the street, your husband's blood. That seems odd. Yeah, and across the street is apt as well. They want, well, and I think I've maybe told you this before about the DNA thing that I see on the other side.
No, I can't remember.
Each family is a little ball, and every time we marry, we create a rod that goes to the next ball.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and it looks just like a DNA strand to me.
Oh.
Our blood we rest with, the rods are the connection we make here on this side, and that connects the family from the other side with this family, and then the connection. Wow. Yeah, it's really, really neat. The connections you make here are reflected on the other side. Huh. In a huge way. Yeah, it's really neat. And she got to meet your family. She says your family is fun. She said it's funner than us. That's what she's showing her family as like.
Well, she was the life of the party, so I could see her.
These guys look like all they're doing is sitting around and drawing pretty pictures and things like that. Like it's not woo like your family. Your family seems to be like they're looking for everything. Like, your grandmother just called you guys scatterbrained. Would you agree with that, or is she just pulling herself in with everybody?
I don't know. Not necessarily.
Yeah, and you can't really call every human being in the family scatterbrained, but then she immediately just flashed to any time someone tries to take a group picture of my family. 20 minutes just to get everybody to look. Yeah, so that makes a little bit of sense. Okie dokie. Now, okay, your spirit guides want me to go back to the nurse practitioner idea. And I think partly because, okay. All right. Okay. So when you're not on your leave yet, are you?
No.
No. So do you start your maternity leave actually in July?
I think it'll be like mid-June, actually. I'm going to go off.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, because I said mid-July, and then they said unless bed rest. That would be very weird. Would is your third?
Let's hope not.
Bed rest would, but if they put you on bed rest, it's only because there's something they want you to. When I talk about you being a nurse practitioner and opening your own space and doing things the way you would like to do, is that outlandish? Does that seem like something that's like 5 years down the road rather than 5 months down the road?
Well, like right now, like, because it's like too much. That sounds too much.
That sounds like an awful lot. Yeah.
And I would a lot of things I have to do at home, which like if I some nurse practitioner roles, you'd have to still check labs and follow up with things at home. I don't wanting to do that too
They
much.
show in a list. So it could very well be that, and you're still bigger.
Yeah.
They want me to use the word huge. Which, screw them. I've been pregnant. No one wants to hear huge when they're pregnant. Well, you're two people right now.
Yeah.
Okay, so they show you with the round belly, and they show you starting to make a list. So to my mind, the list is, okay, I know what I want to say, but they say things you can do. They actually even say ways out.
Huh.
And they actually put something on the list. I don't think that you would have put on the list. Actually, they put two things on the list now that I don't know that you would put on the list. One is Reiki. The other one is hypnotherapy. Very different.
Oh.
Very, very, very different. But they tell me both are available to you.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's kind of like with what I'm able to do, I could move into reading tea leaves, or I could move into tarot, or I could move but those modalities would just be an enhancement to help me to feel that I am doing what I'm doing. That's what they want to move to you towards. They know that there's an energy in you, very, very much. And I actually think this little human being inside of you is an even bigger part of that energy. It's almost as though that's why, yeah, I actually think this pregnancy is different than the last three pregnancies. Well, obviously, but there's it's almost like this child has this little sack of psychic energy. And because they're your third child, they open up the sack of psychic energy and poof, it flows through. If it had happened with the first, then it would have screwed things up with the second. And if it had happened with the second, it would have screwed things up now, because they show that you had to be focused in a certain type of way. Now we can focus you like more than focus this way. So would it be fair to say, out of the three minds that I always deal with, the accounting, the engineer, and the three-ring circus, that you have been kind of an engineering mind all this time? Cause and effect, this leads to this, and that becomes that. And in this way. And now, are you finding yourself a little more ADHD feeling like, oh, wow, I'm noticing this, and I'm noticing that, and I'm noticing this all at the same time?
Not right now.
Okay. They're showing it opening up in a bit of a way. And it could actually be because the little human being inside of you, I think, is a three-ring circus mind. Do. And I think that human being inside of you is going to make you go, wow, I was not expecting this. Than the other ones. That's what they show. They actually kind of show, this one might even look different. Do the other two kind of look alike?
Not really, actually. I always thought it looked weird. Like my first looked just like my husband, and then the second I was like, I don't know who he looks like.
Oh, that's interesting. See, because I would have put that on the third one. Actually, no, the third one, they show two looking a lot alike and one looking different. So that must be your middle one that looks different. Yeah, third one's going to come out and you're going to be like, who the heck are you?
Yeah.
Is the Chinese heritage within your husband really shining through in your babies?
In Oliver, my first, but not in my second at all.
Oh, okay. And in your third, I can see. You know, they're actually showing me, I know a couple that has 3 children, and their middle kid, it's like, what did the milkman look like? Because, wow.
Yeah, that's what I feel like. But he kind of looks like my husband's side, like my husband's dad's side, I feel like.
Yeah, resemblance.
Yeah.
Semblance is keen.
Mhm.
Personality too.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, with your first one, yeah, they actually show you stepping out of his way all the time.
Huh.
Like, hey, I'm just gonna watch what's happening here. And is he athletic?
No, my first one, he refuses all sports.
Oh, that's funny. I think he's still athletic.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah, has he ever done the individual sports?
No, we were thinking of karate for him because he's like refusing all other things.
Yeah, actually, they're showing me one of my kids who I kept trying to put into team sports. And she was just like, yeah, not into humans. And I wasn't figuring it out. So put her on the back of a horse and
Perfect.
big and poop. Yeah. So that's what they're showing with your little guy, that the team sport thing is just too much. She's just, because even a baseball, if there's any sort of team sport, it could be baseball, because each person has an individual task.
Okay.
Link, but not in the same sort of way. If we put him on a soccer team, he best be Pele. I ever age myself there. Like, oh my God, could have said so many Maradona, like there's so many. My kids are soccer players. Anyway, okie dokie. Yeah, they and also too with your eldest, they really show him gravitating towards his daddy.
Yeah.
Could even be that his daddy just understands these things, the things that go on in his little head a little bit better than you do. And that is not, and my husband knows stuff about my one of my kids. I'm like, wow, you weren't even there when I conceived this child, but you're picking up things I'm not getting. So it's a blood doesn't it doesn't mean that because you're the mom you have to pick up everything, or his dad's got to pick up some things, but also too, okay, please don't sell yourself short. Please don't put a hat on your head. That's what they really, really, really want me to drive home with you. I have no idea what the time is. They just told me look at the time. I can't see my clock where I am. I have no idea. Oh, right here. Oh, okay, that's why. That's why. Okay. Okay. They've done it again, and maybe I'm misinterpreting it. You do not wear a hat to work. It's unsanitary to wear a hat to work now. They put hats on nurses, not since like 1960, right?
No,
So when I see the hats, is it just that you're wearing so many hats? You are a nurse, you are a mother, you are a pregnant lady, you are a friend. That's actually the fourth thing. How interesting. So are you wearing all of these hats? Is that what the heck they're getting at?
Maybe. I don't know.
Are you a little stretched too thin?
I don't think so.
Are you sure?
I've been doing a lot of different roles at work. So, like, I was learning different roles and taking courses.
Okay.
So, but yeah, of course, being a mom of two boys is busy, but but
Yeah.
no, because I work part-time, so I feel like I'm pretty balanced.
Yeah, I would think so too, actually, by what I see. But at the same time, it could be everything's fine and dandy, but you're going into your third trimester, and maybe that's going to require a little bit more of your attention. But that's what I keep seeing. And it could just be that because sometimes when they want you to shut up and sit down and learn what they want you to learn, they punch you to do it. I know with me they do. And I kind of think they're going to with you because I keep seeing that you need more rest.
Huh.
I seeing that you're stretched a little thin. They actually even show your arms going like this, like people are pulling you in all different directions. And I know for certain if someone said that to me, I'd be like, no, I can handle anything. I am fine. And I'll make a list.
Yeah.
I kind of think you're doing that a little bit. Only, and okay, also too, as a mommy of 3 people, get rest.
Yeah.
God, get rest. Sleep,
Yeah.
sleep now. Sleep until August.
Yeah.
Need it. And also too, okay, that's interesting. Now, this is very strange, but do you have a plan for how things are going to go with all 3? You gotta have a plan of some sort. Like you've got your cradle, you've got I know that sounds strange.
Oh, yeah. Well, I have all the stuff from the boys, so.
Yeah, you got all your things like that. Now, the thing they keep showing when they say, do you have a plan? They show me a child in your bed with you, and you're reading with a baby here and another child right there.
Yeah.
So when
Yeah.
they give a plan, I think they mean like, how are you going to do this? Do you know
No, I don't know.
it all organized in your head? I don't think that, yeah, because they actually tell me it's going to be overwhelming.
Oh gosh.
I don't mean to frighten you in any way, shape, or form. My God, I did it, and I'm not a superhero by any means, but organized I am. And also, um, okay, there's something there's this baby's gonna throw you for a loop. I don't know what the loop is. It actually could be a good loop. Could be an easier loop because the first thing they show me is my second one slept for 4 hours straight when I brought her home from the hospital. And it freaked me out so much I actually banged her crib, make sure she was alive. So it could be a loop like that, but there's something having to do with books and reading. So do you read to the boys now?
Yeah.
And are you reading to the fetus?
No, but we always like talk to the baby when we're reading books in bed.
Yeah, and when you're reading books in bed, the baby is hearing the story of the book and
Yeah.
things like that. There's something about, I honestly think, do you boys come into your bed and that's when you have the reading time?
Yeah.
Okay, so they're showing that this is a soothing thing for your baby.
Aw.
Your baby gets very, very used to that sound, that whole thing, and they want you to I don't want to be that steel ball that comes rolling down the hill at you like something is coming, but they keep telling me that I have to gear you up for something that's coming. It could very well be you get put on bed rest.
Oh.
Yeah, I know. It seems so weird because you're young, you're healthy. This is your third, no big deal, nothing like that. But it might be that they say they might want you to pretend you're on bed rest, maybe
Yeah.
give yourself bed rest and say, okay, everything I need is right here on the bed. My babies are coming in and out. Your husband's not right there, by the way. They show him doing things in the house, which, yeah, somebody's got to make the meals and
Yeah.
things like that. And yeah, actually, I heard bring home the bacon. I heard not a pig farmer. No, that'd be hilarious. Anyway, so okie dokie. Please take this as time for you. That's the sentence I have. Please give yourself all the things that you feel you're going to need after the baby comes. The after the baby comes stuff. They want you to concentrate completely and absolutely on yourself right now. Completely and absolutely. So, in that too, well, your feet are fine, right?
They get sore because they're like flatter now that I'm pregnant. But
Oh, okay, because keep showing you massaging your own feet.
oh, okay.
Oh, this is neat. Oh, but that it's your own foot. But okay, so they want you to look at your foot because you don't believe me. That's what they say. You don't believe me when I say, okay, you can look at someone and tell what's wrong with them. Of course you don't. Why would you think that? Because it does not happen before, and you're a nurse, so it's not logical and things like that. So they want you to guinea pig upon yourself a little bit because then you won't be second guessing. What a strange. Okay, they want you to use this like one of the reasons I knew I could speak to the dead is that my dead father spoke to me. So I was like, okay, this must be a thing. So I did it for myself. That's the example that they're giving me. So they're doing a similar thing with you. They're showing you looking at the bottom of your foot and allowing your eyes to blur and asking them, let me see what I can see. Honestly, I think a little bit it's this human being inside of you. I think your child is very psychic and thus making you more psychic because side of you. But they're showing the bag opening up. So because everybody's psychic, it's just figuring out how you're psychic. That's actually the biggest hurdle. So you've already half figured it out. You're already a healer. You just do it in a way that is accepted by 100% of the people, not
Right.
just 30 to 50% of the people. This is the extra icing on that cake. So, and even if you don't want to use this in a weirdo way, you could actually use it in a logical sort of way where you can marry it with your logical mind and ask them, okay, if this is something you want me to help people with, make it so that I can put it in my normal human life and I don't have to become a strange person in front of my kids and things like that. So they show you looking at the bottom of your feet and actually blurring it to see if you can see colors on your foot. And believe that you can. And actually ask them, these ladies, the dead ladies, that's what they call themselves, the dead ladies, to help you. That's your husband's aunt, your grandmother, and the other great grandmother. But I honestly think that that person is interchangeable with your mother-in-law. Your husband's mother on the other side. She be wanting to help you with this on this side. Well, because the grandbaby inside of you was her blood.
My husband's grandma that passed, you mean?
Yeah. It's not his mother, it's his grandmother, right? That's the great grandmother.
Yeah.
And then there's your mother's mother.
Yeah.
Yes. And then there's, my goodness, you guys, does everyone have young babies, or just you guys have longevity or something, or is everyone close? Because I'm seeing another generation of mother, and usually they would have not disappeared, but kind of moved up a little bit and not be too concerned about you. And I don't mean that in a bad sort of way, but other great. Oh, okay. Which is, you're not Indigenous, are you?
No,
I didn't think so. Oh, your husband has Chinese within his blood. That's I only ever see it with two different types of human being that I read, and it's Chinese folks and Indigenous folks, the ancestor thing, and this generation after generation after generation where they keep on paying attention to you. With other folks, I just see them kind of ascend and disappear a little bit, and only like generations you really know. But you guys keep on going and going and going, and it must be that link. Because you don't actually have it in your blood, but he has it in his blood, and that must bring it strange to me. It really is, but it's groovy because it shows that. I want to tell you there's something you don't know about your genetic makeup. That's what I want to tell you. That's a dumb thing to say, but I want to say it honestly. Like there's something deeper and heavier within your family that is all somewhat within your husband's family, that you have a link that like my husband and I could very, very easily have a Norse pagan sort of link way, way, way back in our generations that we don't know about, that I don't want to look at because we actually kind of look alike. So I'm looking at that, but it's a similar sort of thing, like a meant to be together. Sort of. Yeah, like he's meant for you, you're meant for him. Does he drive you insane?
Not really now.
But they're supposed to, especially the ones you're meant to be with, because you're so stuck with them.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I got to put up with that, dang it, because I just love the heck out of you.
Exactly.
So you drive crazy. I say it all the time. I love my husband so much, I'd still hit him with my car. Just as much as that. Like it's a weird emotion that they bring out in you, and they show your husband and you being like two puzzle pieces that create a picture. But now there's the holes in your picture with these little boys. Okay, now do you have questions?
I wanted to ask whether my grandma's happy with what's happening at the farm, because my mom's been making changes and was worried about that.
Yeah, is she subdividing it in some way?
No, she's just getting rid of family members that.
Oh, I see. She shows it like she's doing this, and hear no evil, see no evil, speak no evil. That's what she says. It has nothing to do with her anymore.
Okay.
Yeah, and because that's the best she can do, to be perfectly honest. She understands. She speak no evil here, like does.
Yeah.
She's actually even putting on her cone of silence helmet. Know that? Because she thinks your mom will have more freedom to do what she needs to do.
Yeah.
Because your mother is different and looks at things in a More natural way. That's actually the way I hear it, which is really strange. But
Yeah,
okay.
it's
Well,
true.
probably what they actually are. That's the more natural way. She sees things for what they actually are, rather than what she thinks they might be.
Right.
Okie dokie. Rather than doing what she's supposed to do,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
going against the grain in that
Yeah.
way. Is she even going against her own name?
I'm not sure what you mean. Like,
Well, because our last name is the family. That's the name. They talk about that on the other
right.
side in the sky. So is your mother actually going against people who have the same last name as her?
Yeah, that's why it's hard to.
Yeah. And if anything, I believe the granddad tells she's doing a fine job.
Oh, that's good.
That's what he's written to bad rubbish.
Oh, that's good.
And he pats his belly. I don't know if he's doing it because he's saying, I got a belly, or if he's saying power.
Okay.
Both, but yeah, it could be both.
Yeah.
Depending
Bye.
on. Bye-bye. Thank you.